All right, let's talk about something that so many of us just accept as a normal part of life, that constant, annoying phlegm in your throat. Today, we're going to look at this problem in a completely different way, using a functional medicine approach that points to a powerful, drug-free solution you might not see coming. You know that sound, right? That little cough, that constant nagging need to clear your throat. It might be the first thing you do when you wake up, or something you're self-conscious about in a quiet meeting. It's frustrating, and for a lot of people, it just feels like something you're stuck with forever. I mean, really? Does it? Starting your day by hacking up a bunch of gunk just to feel normal? Or how about that feeling when you're at the movies and you're trying so hard not to sniffle or do that ahem because you feel like everyone can hear you? If you're nodding along, then you are in exactly the right place. I'm willing to bet you've been to a doctor about this. You've probably got a cabinet with allergy pills, decongestants, and nasal sprays. And maybe you've been told something like, oh, that's just your body, or this is something you'll just have to manage. But what if that's not the whole truth? So, here's the big idea we're going to dig into. Your body isn't broken. Your sinuses aren't just faulty. The real root of the problem might actually be on your plate. The food you eat every single day could be fueling a low-grade fire inside your body. This right here is the absolute key. It's a total shift in perspective. See, we spend all our time and energy fighting the symptom, the phlegm, the mucus, but that's just the smoke alarm going off. The real problem isn't the mucus, it's the chronic inflammation that's making your body produce it in the first place. Okay, so let's completely reframe how we think about phlegm. It's not the villain of the story. Think of it more like a firefighter. It's your body's emergency response. When your tissues get irritated and inflamed, your body creates this gooey protective layer to soothe and shield them. It's a defense mechanism, a good guy. And what is that firefighter trying to put out? This hidden fire called inflammation. Just imagine the delicate lining inside your nose and your throat is constantly red, swollen, and irritated. That's the fire. And your body, trying to be helpful, sends in the mucus, the firefighters, to coat that burning tissue. And this is exactly why medication so often feels like a temporary fix. When you take a decongestant, you're basically telling the firefighters to go home, but the house is still on fire. Sure, the medicine might dry things up for a couple of hours, but the minute it wears off, your body senses that the fire is still raging and sends the firefighters right back in. The cycle just continues. Which brings us to the most important question of all. If we want to solve this for good, we have to stop blaming the firefighter, the mucus, and we need to ask what is fueling this fire? What's causing this constant year-round inflammation? A lot of the time, we blame things outside of us, right? We think, oh, it must be seasonal allergies, or the dust in my house, or the city air. And look, those things can definitely play a role. They can be like little sparks. But for most people with this chronic issue, they aren't the main source of the blaze. The biggest source of fuel for this internal fire is way more common. It's something you do every single day, usually 3 times a day. It's the food on your plate. What you're eating is consistently pouring gasoline on that fire. And let's be really specific here. We're talking about an overload of refined carbohydrates and sugar. So things like your morning cereal and toast, the pasta and white rice you have for lunch and dinner, crackers, pastries, and definitely sugary sodas and juices. These everyday foods can be super inflammatory for a lot of us. Here's how it works in your body. It's a pretty simple chain reaction. You eat a meal high in these carbs, and your blood sugar shoots way up. In response, your body has to pump out a flood of the hormone insulin to manage all that sugar. This constant roller coaster of sugar spikes and insulin surges is what creates a state of chronic body-wide inflammation. So why do you feel it in your throat and nose? Well, the mucous membranes in your respiratory system are incredibly sensitive. They're like the canary in the coal mine. They are often one of the very first places the systemic inflammation shows up, and it appears as rhinitis, postnasal drip, and, you guessed it, chronic phlegm. So if food is the fuel, then the solution becomes incredibly straightforward. It might not be easy, but it is simple. You have to stop adding fuel to the fire. So the question is, how do you actually do that? The key goal here is to drastically lower your body's inflammatory burden. And a great target to shoot for is getting only about 10 to 20% of your total daily calories from carbohydrates. When you make this shift, you're essentially starving the fire. And look, this does not have to be complicated. It's all about making simple swaps. So instead of cereal for breakfast, try having some eggs with butter and avocado. Instead of a big bowl of rice for lunch, make some sort of protein like chicken or fish the star, with a huge pile of leafy greens. And for dinner, swap the pasta for grilled steak with roasted veggies. It's just about changing your primary fuel source. Now, I gotta be honest with you, the first few days can be a little rough. As your body switches gears from burning carbs to burning fat, you might feel kind of tired or sluggish. That's totally normal. But if you stick with it, around day 7, you'll start to turn a corner. And then, by day 14, that's when the magic can happen. That's when so many people wake up, take a deep breath, and realize they can actually breathe clearly. Just take a second and imagine that. Waking up without that gross, thick feeling in your throat. Breathing easily through your nose all day long, eating a meal without getting the sniffles right after. This isn't just about getting rid of a little mucus. It's about a massive upgrade to your quality of life. This really says it all, doesn't it? For so long, we've been taught to look for an answer in a pill bottle or a spray. But for this type of chronic, diet-driven problem, the most powerful medicine you have is at the end of your fork. The real solution is in your kitchen. So let's make a deal. Let's stop thinking of phlegm as the enemy. It's not a disease in itself. It's a message. It's your body's check engine light, flashing and trying to tell you that the fuel you're putting in is causing a major problem. You wouldn't just cut the wire to the light, right? No, you'd fix the engine. So don't get overwhelmed thinking you have to change everything all at once. Just start with this one little thought experiment. What if, tomorrow, you only changed your breakfast? Just one meal. Could that one small change be the first step to finally changing how you feel and how you breathe every single day?